Out of Pelham, the city announcing it's buying a 43-acre property from Live Nation. It includes the site of the former Oak Mountain Amphitheater. WVTM 13's Emma Owen joins us now at the breaking news desk with what we know so far. Emma.
Hey Jarvis, the city says it will buy the property, which includes what used to be the Oak Mountain Amphitheater, after the venue is demolished. This means after 38 years of hosting live performances, the amphitheater will be gone. Now, the city of Pelham tells us this purchase will allow them to expand its art and entertainment district. And in a statement, Mayor Gary Waters provided some insight as to what is next for the property. He said the opportunity to redevelop this site allows us to expand upon our efforts to create a thriving district that is attractive to businesses, visitors, and residents alike. His statement continued, saying the addition of new retail, dining, and entertainment amenities combined with inviting outdoor spaces will further establish Pelham as a premier destination in the region. Now, the city says specific information about their plans and potential timelines will be shared when available, and as soon as tomorrow we could learn more information about their redevelopment plans. The city is holding a press conference in the morning, and WVTM 13 plans to be there. Jarvis.
Emma, thanks. A new steakhouse may open soon in the city of Homewood, but local businesses are saying, slow your roll. We need parking. WVTM 13's Bryce Oselin spoke with the investment group making the proposal and the business owner who isn't thrilled about the idea.
The city of Homewood is considering turning its old police station into a steakhouse. Business owners say it's a venue that doesn't exist in the city.
Just the classic steakhouse where it's mostly meat.
For more than 3 years, the city of Homewood's old police station hasn't been put to use.
The city wanted to monetize the building, get some money for it.
Chairman of Capstone Real Estate Investments, Mike Moran, proposes building a steakhouse in the Soho district.
They also had hoped that the use would generate some taxes, sales tax, liquor tax, property tax, whatever. So I think our proposal accomplishes all four of those objectives.
But not everyone is a fan.
We've got 1,010 restaurants in Homewood. We have no parking. I mean, the proposal that they made was beautiful, pretty nice, but there is no parking.
Sue Graffis owns a business in Homewood and says there are already issues with parking in the area.
We've got so many merchants here, and when they put a steakhouse and take up what little parking there is now over where the jail is, we're going to have no parking. And my biggest fear is that we're going to have to close our business because there's no parking.
The city of Homewood hasn't agreed to the proposal just yet. Moran says he's willing to address any problem to move forward.
A steakhouse, which is another reason we picked that type of venue, most often is most heavily used at night, and so we think that's when there's less demands up and down the street for parking. And then most good steakhouses also have valet parking.
The city of Homewood plans to continue this conversation. The mayor of Homewood couldn't be reached for a comment at this time. In Homewood, Bryce Oselin, WVTM 13.
And we've got some impact weather over the next couple of days. Starting Wednesday, we've also got an impact day Thursday and Friday. But for Wednesday, we are tracking the potential for a wintry mix across North Alabama. Main impacts in terms of accumulations or slick roadways look to be along into the north of Highway 278. But we can't completely rule out a wintry mix as far south as I-20 during the morning hours, mainly a mixture of some sleet, rain, snowflakes north of I-20, and then the rest of central Alabama dealing with cold temperatures and rain for the morning commute Wednesday. For tomorrow, though, I want to get you prepared. We are going to start the day below the freezing mark, but we end up in the mid-50s, an increase in cloud cover with that chance of a wintry mix arriving very late Tuesday evening into early on Wednesday. That's followed by a big-time drop in our temperatures on Thursday. Let's take a closer look at the arrival of that wintry mix. Here is early Wednesday morning. This is midnight, and we're already starting to see the possibility of some snowflakes over Communities like Lamar County into Fayette County, Marion, Winston, Northern Walker, parts of Coleman. As we move towards 3 a.m. with some of the newer model runs, they're trying to bring that wintry mix just a little bit further south, closer to the I-20 corridor. However, temperatures are going to be hovering just above the freezing mark. So I still believe really the main impact in terms of your travel or accumulation holds along into the north of Highway 278. All of this precip is going to be moving out of here by the late morning, and then we are expected to all climb above the freezing mark, which will improve any kind of road conditions that we've seen deteriorate through the morning hours. So improving travel by lunchtime, followed by a big drop in our temperatures Thursday and Friday. Got more details on that coming up in just a few.
Well, right now, Hale County residents still working to clear the damage from weekend storms. An EF1 tornado touched down Saturday. 7 families lost their homes. Alex Harris says he had just put his young daughter to bed and was helping his mother, who has ALS, to her bedroom when the tornado hit. Now, they were all in the living room when the roof caved in, but thanks to a television holding up the roof, they all made it out safely.
One shock wave come through and it rocked the trailer. Then another one came through, and that's when all the damage occurred. The tree fell on our house.
Those 7 homes were destroyed. The Hale County EMA says the tornado only resulted in 2 minor injuries. And devastating storms in Kentucky have killed at least 12 people, and that's according to the state's governor. In Hart County, 3 people died. A man was killed in a water-related crash, and floodwaters claimed the life of a woman and her child. Now, this happened Saturday in Bonneville. According to the coroner, the mother was trying to pick up her husband from a family member's house when she got turned around in the storm and ended up on a bridge. Sadly, the coroner says she lost control in the high water. The car landed in the creek at least 15 feet below. Listen to someone who lives by what they had to say.
I anticipated the bridge being flooded, but that somebody would actually lose their lives to it, yeah, you never expect nothing like that.
Unfortunately, icy conditions have followed the weekend storms. Crews say this is complicating their efforts to clean up the damage. Now to an update to a story we first brought you as breaking news this afternoon. We're learning more about the Delta Airlines plane that flipped upside down while trying to land. The incident at Toronto's Pearson Airport sent at least 18 people to the hospital. Thankfully, all 80 people on board at the time survived, and that's according to the airport's CEO. Now, she adds those who were hurt had relatively minor injuries. Tonight, we're hearing from one passenger who describes the terrifying incident.
And when we hit, it was just a super hard, like I hit the ground, and the plane went sideways, and I believe we skidded like on our side and then flipped over on our back. Where we ended up, there was like a big fireball out this left side of the plane. And when we got finished, it was I was upside down.
Just terrifying. Nelson says the passengers got out as quickly as possible. Shortly after, he says there was another explosion. A teacher, coach, and bus driver in the Minor community has been placed on administrative leave from Jefferson County Schools. Blount County Sheriff Mark Moon says 33-year-old Christopher Thompson was the first person they arrested last week. Now, we were the first to tell you about Thompson's work as a teacher and bus driver at UW Clement Elementary. He's also an assistant basketball coach across the street at Minor High School. Blount County Sheriff Mark Moon says Thompson was the first person they arrested last week. Sheriff Moon tells us they conduct sting operations about 4 times a year.
When people get into law enforcement, they are looking for a way to protect people, to help their community, to do some things that are proactive. And then whenever they get into law enforcement, they realize that a lot of the things that we do are just taking reports and launching investigations, and they're reactive. So this is something that gives my deputies an opportunity to actually do what they signed up for.
Now, the men charged with human trafficking, traveling to meet a child for sex and electronic solicitation of a child. Thompson may also face charges of fleeing from police. Well, protesting the president and his policies nationwide, protests taking aim at President Trump and one of his top aides, Elon Musk. Here's how it looked in some cities today, including New York and the nation's capital. Well, here in Birmingham, local organizations also pushing back against recent actions from the Trump administration. Earlier today, members with Birmingham Indivisible gathered outside the Hugo L. Black courthouse, many of them holding signs and even bullhorns. Organizer Laura Nadell says she and her fellow members are concerned about President Trump's executive orders and the power Elon Musk has in the federal government. Birmingham Indivisible isn't the only group taking to the streets in protest of the Trump administration. A similar demonstration was held earlier this afternoon at Lynn Park.
We thought they were safe, but we now know that they are no longer.
Well, there it is. A new study says a reliable cooking tool is putting harmful chemicals into your food, affecting everything from brain health to growth and development. Why experts are at odds over the study and how you can help ease concerns over the latest threats to your health.
And there are winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings just to our north. I'm tracking the latest on the impacts and timing of when that wintry weather will arrive in Alabama coming up.
All this month, WVTM 13 Project Community recognizes Alabamians who broke barriers and raised the bar for everyone. One of those extraordinary people, Amelia Boynton Robinson, and you're looking at a picture of her being held by another marcher after they were attacked by mounted police officers on Bloody Sunday in Selma. Robinson was a pivotal figure in the civil rights movement, noted for her impact in our state and across the nation. She was the first black woman to run for office in Alabama in 1964, winning 10% of the vote. She went on to help lead the 1965 Selma to Montgomery marches, which were significant in the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The late Representative John Lewis, who we profiled last week, spoke about it, saying that what he enjoyed about marching with Robinson.
I could see her right now walking across the bridge on Bloody Sunday with a sense of dignity and a sense of pride. And you can never ever forget that. She was brave and courageous, and she never ever gave up.
Robinson was awarded the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Medal in 1990. On the 50th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, Robinson crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge with President Barack Obama. She died months later at the age of 110. And don't forget to join us February 20th as we explore the rich history of music in Alabama and the African Americans who helped shape the sounds we know and love. WVTM 13 Project Community